Hello and welcome to the DSR Daily. I'm David Rothkopf, joined by Riley Fessler. Hi, Riley.
Morning.
And Minna Stein. Hey, Minna.
Hey,
What do you got to kick us off with today, Minna?
there has been backlash against Donald Trump from Puerto Rican voters in Pennsylvania following derogatory comments made by a pro-Trump comedian at his recent Madison Square Garden rally. Many in the community are now more engaged and considering opposing Trump in the upcoming election, viewing the incident as an opportunity for Kamala Harris to gain support. Local activists are calling for Trump to apologize, emphasizing the need for respect towards Puerto Ricans. The comments have sparked widespread condemnation and could significantly impact voter turnout in swing districts like Allentown.
Oh, that's too bad. That's what I got to say to that. You organize a big rally, you put a guy on TV, he's a racist, he attacks Puerto Ricans. Wonder if that's going to have an effect. It's like you go to Detroit and you tell everybody that Detroit is a pile of shit as a city. And, I wonder if that's going to have an effect. Or if you treat women like crap and strip away their rights, I wonder if that's going to have an effect. Or if you're just a racist or half of your narrative is about trans people and to have an agenda where you're going to go after the right of people to marry who they want. I wonder how that's going to have an effect. The Trump campaign is very clearly for one group of people, white Christian males, and not ones who happen to be Democrats. By the way, they're the enemy within. Only white Christian males who are, inclined in the same way that Trump is, which is nativist, racist, anti-democratic. And that's why there's a ceiling on how many votes Trump is going to get. And that's why he's going to lose. Does it make you feel better this morning, Minna?
I feel a little bit better.
Excellent. I'm so happy to be able to lift your day. Let's see if I can do the same for you, Riley.
We'll see. Israel's parliament has passed 2 laws aimed at limiting the role of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA, which provides crucial aid to Palestinians, particularly in Gaza. These laws ban UNRWA's activities in Israel and sever the agency's ties with the Israeli government, potentially leading to a significant disruption in food, shelter, and healthcare services for millions of Palestinian refugees, especially in Gaza, where conditions are most dire. Israel claims that UNRWA has connections to Hamas, including staff allegedly involved in a recent attack, though the agency disputes these claims and asserts its efforts to maintain neutrality.
Yeah, well, there have been studies, and I think there were people within UNRWA who are shown to have some association with Hamas. I think it was 40 of them in an agency of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that's providing essential services. The Israeli response, UNRWA bad, we will shut it down, is compounding the effects of the onslaught that Israel unleashed against Gaza in the wake of October 7th. Which right now is getting worse and worse from a humanitarian perspective, particularly in northern Gaza. While the politicians who do this in Israel will describe for you their justifications, the acts are unjustified, too sweeping, deadly dangerous for innocent people, and yet another example of this Israeli government showing no concern of a humanitarian nature for their Palestinian neighbors, or for that matter, their Lebanese neighbors who have also been battered by recent Israeli attacks. Minna?
Ongoing legal challenges are being faced by Donald Trump as he attempts to delay a grand jury investigation into his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Chief Justice James Bausberg expressed concerns about the potential negative impact of delays on the investigation, especially with the 2024 election approaching. Despite Trump's claims that the Biden administration is politically targeting him, newly unsealed court documents reveal judges repeatedly warned him against unnecessary delays and ultimately compelled key White House officials to testify. While Trump did achieve some victories in protecting certain communications, the judges consistently prioritized the integrity of the investigation over his claims of executive privilege.
Well, I don't know what to say to that story. What should I say, Minna?
Good.
Good. Good. That's exactly my reaction. Good. Don't have to have a long reaction. People aren't paying extra. They're not paying by the word. Good. That's our DSR take on that. Riley?
A recent election in Japan weakened the ruling coalition, raising concerns about political instability that could embolden China and North Korea to intensify military actions in East Asia. With the U.S. preparing for its own closely contested presidential election, analysts worry that regional rivals might test Western resolve. Japan has committed to a substantial military expansion plan, but uncertainty over coalition negotiations could complicate funding. The U.S.-Japan security alliance remains strong, yet analysts warn that political distractions could hinder Japan's defense policy initiatives, potentially impacting the balance of power in the region.
Yeah, no question about that. It's a little worrisome, but Japan goes through periods like this. The Japanese government changes. Japan remains one of our most stable and dependable allies in the world. And frankly, I don't think it's going to lead to a test. What I do think will lead to a test is the U.S. election. It doesn't matter who is elected. The Chinese will test, prod, see just exactly where U.S.-China policy is, particularly in the waters off of China and with regard to Taiwan. So, a period of testing is to be expected. And by the way, that'll be global in the wake of the election. It won't just be the Asia Pacific region, or it will also include Europe and Russia. So, it's the next few months are going to be months where we're going to have to pay very close attention to what's going on in the world geopolitically.
Vice President Kamala Harris plans to visit every battleground state in the final week before Election Day, focusing on female voters to boost her campaign. Recent Democratic messaging emphasizes the confidentiality of voting, with a new ad highlighting that voters' choice will remain private. Former First Lady Michelle Obama also spoke out, encouraging women to assert their voting rights. Harris reiterated her commitment to restoring Roe v. Wade, criticizing the impact of restrictions on women's health care and emphasizing the urgency of protecting reproductive rights as a key issue for women voters.
Look, it's what you got to do. She's up to it. She's going to go and do it. I don't think Trump's up to that kind of activity. And she's got a chance in more battleground states significantly than Biden did. It's one of the reasons she's the candidate right now. And she's got something else as a wind at her back. Every day, the Trump campaign seems to do something odious that offends, as we said at the very top of this show, a group of voters. And that's, I saw somebody writing the other day, that's the October surprise. Trump is his own October surprise. He is the one who is, affecting the race. So, here we are a week to go. Are you nervous, Minna?
I'm feeling a normal amount of nervous, I think. I think there's always going to be like some low-grade nervousness, but I'm feeling more confident the closer we get to Election Day. I think I was feeling a lot more nervous last week.
Interesting. I did see somebody yesterday say that they expect polls to drift towards Kamala Harris in the next few days. The real polls, not the bullshit polls,
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because a lot of them realize they've gotten their mix wrong so far. How do you feel, Riley?
I feel okay. I'm not going to sleep easily until the election is over. But, I don't.
Decided.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because, again, we're not going to probably know for at least a little bit after election day. So I will not sleep until then.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Uh, well, look, we'll be here every day, everybody. If you feel anxiety, just join your pals here at DSR Daily. We'll tell you what's going on, the biggest stories in the world. We'll help you grapple with at least what we think they may mean. And as you can gather from our little gang here who sits there poring over the news every day, for you in the United States who are concerned that the country is going to head straight down the toilet, maybe it won't. We're feeling a little positive right now. Don't take it for granted. Vote if you haven't voted. Help people who vote to vote who have not yet voted. Volunteer, call, send cards. Well, may not be time to send cards. Send money. Do the things that can help ensure that it's not just a victory, but a victory that's big enough to keep all the inevitable GOP challenges at bay. Anyway, more tomorrow, or podcasts from us each and every day talking about different aspects of this. That's why you come to the DSR network, and we hope you'll spend this very consequential week listening to what we have to offer, what our experts have to offer. One of the things that sets the DSR network apart is that we are the only all expert policy and politics network out there. What our specialty is getting the best experts in and letting you hear from them at greater length than you could anywhere else. But not just at length, also interestingly and pointedly. So join us. In the meantime, thank you, Minna. Thank you, Riley. And thanks, everybody, for listening.